Well, hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm in a totally different position here. I just flipped everything around so we'd have enough room to talk about this massive unit that EcoFlow sent out for me to check out. All this stuff will be linked down below if you want to go check it all out, but I've kind of talked about a few power stations here before, including EcoFlow on some small ones, but this is kind of the mother of all EcoFlow power stations. This is a whole home backup unit. This part up here is known as a DPU for short, but this is basically a massive charger, inverter, whole power station part here on the top, while this underneath here is a 6 kilowatt battery at kilowatt hour, I should say, 6,000 watt hours. So it's on wheels. It comes with a little dolly that this all sits on, and it's a mighty good thing because the weight of this it's amazingly heavy. Everything has nice handles, thank goodness. With my kids' help, I was able to get everything done, and together we're actually building a whole system that involves this. So be sure to follow the channel, and I'll kind of show you guys what all we're doing. We've brought solar wiring into the shop now. We're working on getting this shop kind of off-grid, or at least to start with, majorly backed up by several days of power, hopefully. Right now, this is my first day of having 6 solar panels. I have 8 total that are going to go on my big array outside. And so we're slowly learning how much input we can actually get, which today with 6 of the 360 watt panels, I was hitting right about 1.8, 1.9 kilowatts coming in. Now, here's the other thing, guys. I'm new at this solar thing, so have a little mercy on me here if I get my terminology a little bit wrong. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to get me a whole system set up, but it takes a lot of learning, even though I've been in construction and wiring things for many years now. This is a whole different thing. Inverters and watts and amps and everything in a different way with the DC power than I'm ever used to. So this unit here, I actually have my little splitter for my battery chargers and everything else plugged into this right now. And we can turn this panel on. Not sure if it will actually be something you can watch there, maybe a little bit. You can see we're at 95% today. We started this morning at 18%, and the solar panels, 100% solar only. I have never plugged this into the wall yet to charge it. I plugged it directly into the solar into the shop, charged it up, and I've used it all day just powering my workbenches and everything, which there's like 11 battery chargers, 3 or 4 DeWalt ones over there. You know, I've got all kinds of batteries going on over there, including my big Ego stuff for my augers and all, charging off of this. And I mean, there's not been a hiccup yet. Obviously, this is a 7,200 watt inverter, so 7.2 kilowatt. So if you need that much power, it can hit that as well as exceed it briefly if you know you have something with a motor like a table saw or anything like that. It can actually exceed that input for long enough to get that motor fired and get you rolling typically. All right, guys, let's talk tools and the Delta EcoFlow Ultra. That system is hooked up right here, right now, running this entire shop, from the lighting to the air conditioning system right now to the very camera that you're watching on. I don't even run a battery in my camera. It's running directly on USB-C. So we're going to see, right now this unit is outputting 1,290 watts to run everything in this shop, including the AC over there. So we're going to grab some normal job site tools here right off my rack over here and see how it does with these. Now, with this unit having a 7,200 watt max output with this one inverter, you can stack several inverters together, I believe 3, to get you to over 21 kilowatts of output. But with even 7,200 watts, these units right here are between 500 and 1,000 watts each. You can run literally an entire job site pretty much on an EcoFlow Delta like this Ultra. So With that being said, we also have the 13-inch planer over here that we're going to also connect to it, and we're going to run a board through it and plane with it while it's connected and just see how much load we can throw on this thing. I'm going to open the EcoFlow app on my phone. I'm going to screen record how much draw we're getting as we go through the different tools. It is going to be loud, so prepare yourself for some of that. But we're going to roll through some of that now. They have a wonderful app, by the way. Probably my favorite of all power station apps. I can go right in here, turn on and off my USBs, turn on and off my DC, my AC, literally all of it. So we're going to go ahead and hit screen record so that we can see what kind of output we are pushing on this unit. Got to switch over from my Delta 2 in the house to this Delta Ultra right here. Now, we're currently getting 1.37 kilowatts of solar coming into that system right now also from our array in the yard. We're pulling out 1.3 right now to run the shop. So it's almost an even balance. But we're about to hit it hard, and it's only at 19% charge. So let's plug these three items in. All right. We're set up to record here with it flipped over to output so we can actually see what each outlet is pulling. So right now we have one AC outlet that's running my charger bank over here that's currently pulling about 80 watts. We also have the 30 amp socket that is running the AC, the lighting, literally everything else in the shop that's pulling 1.22. So now we're plugged into 3 more of the AC ports on the unit. Now my ports are in here where we can plug in. Everything over here is running off of it. So we'll be able to run those just pretty much right where they are and see what they do. So here is a regular 7 1/4 inch DeWalt circular saw. Let's go ahead and see how much watts we pull with this. So noise warning really quick. Prepare yourself. Boy, I tell you, makes me love my 20 volt ones that have a power brake on them. I don't like that whole spin down of the blade. So anyway, that spiked about 1.2 kW coming in. So around 1200 watts right on the initial trigger pull. And then it dropped down to in the 600 range. So you'll be able to see that here on the screen with the screen recording that I'm working on right here on the table. So here's a belt sander that shows a 1000 watt peak. I'm assuming that's if you really have it jammed in a corner working over some oak stairs maybe like this thing did last time. So let's see what we pull with this one. So that one had the same kind of 1.2 kW, almost hit 1200 watts startup, I think 1200, and then it settled back down in the 560s and so forth like that. So we also have the Milwaukee bandsaw. Okay, so I have some little piece of metal here. It's actually just a garage door mount, but I use this thing for everything from cutting unistrut to whatever, but I wanted to see if it, just under a little bit of load, maybe it'll be different. So here we go on the Milwaukee bandsaw. And yes, I got my safety glasses on for the metal. Okay, so if I'm seeing this right, and you'll see it on the screen recording, I believe that hit over 1000 watts right on startup, leveled right off, and then cutting was around 720 watts. So to give you an idea how much this can run on a job site, it's kind of insane, really. Even if you rounded up every one of these tools to a full 1000 watt under load pull, this is 3000 watts on a 7200 output unit. So you're not even reaching half yet. You could have a window unit running along with it to cool something, even if it's not as efficient as this mini split here. My window unit back here behind me, if I choose to run that inefficient thing, that's 3600 watts. Plus 3000 here would only have me at 6600. I'd still have almost 1000 watts of float for lights and anything else I wanted to run on the job site. We have a DeWalt 13-inch planer here. We've got a 1x4 right here that we're going to feed through it. It's really warped, so made it work pretty hard earlier on the first pass testing something else. Okay, well, what do y'all think? I could not see what my app was showing for the draw on that, but that is running a 13-inch DeWalt planer, planing a board under load. So if you carry one of those, or you have the smaller 12-inch lunchbox style, something like that, may use a little less power, it will run that. I mean, not any lag whatsoever. And one last thing, just for no particular reason, let's just take two of these, no load, and run it. Okay, guys. Clearly, if you wanted to take this system to a job site and run everything, there are ways, if you don't even have power at the property, you could have you a cable that will connect this in, 30 amp, like feed dryer plug, put your own generator interlock in. You could just plug it into the home's generator interlock panel if they have one. I'm sure as contractors, we all know how we can connect a generator to a house safely and be able to power it up if we don't have any power there. So we've all probably done it, I would think. But occasionally we get into a house that needs a lot of work done before we're even going to be able to get some of those systems up and operating. So being able to run everything off of a unit like this, pretty cool. Compared to hearing a gas generator roaring all day long, this unit will also charge off of 110 or 120. So if you have something like a little quiet inverter generator, like a little Honda generator, something like that, or even EcoFlow has a multi-fuel generator that runs quietly as well and will top up batteries. But you can run something like that and recharge this. You can charge it 120 and it will still output 240 at the same time. So many options with this system. What do you guys think of some tool tests? I would kind of like to run the saw stop on it, but right now my cord for that is in a really weird location. So if I end up moving this big old wood pile, we might be able to do that on a short maybe and show you guys it running my saw stop 3 horsepower, I think it is, or 5 horsepower cabinet saw back here. It's the bigger version of whatever that is. So I forget if it's 3 or 5, but I think the small one's like 1.75, isn't it? I could be wrong. You guys, I'm sure, will correct me. So anyway, that's a system here. What do y'all think of what it will actually power? 7,200 watts is a lot. Now you can connect multiple of these DPUs in series to double or triple your kilowatt output if you need to. Like if, for instance, you're running your whole home, you want to run your central heat and air, that type of thing. Now, from what I understand, this will run up to a 3-ton central heat and air. Now, for how long, that will completely depend on your unit specs, because your batteries here are also kind of upgradable to, I believe, 15 or so units. I'll have more details about this down below, but you can add quite a few of these 6 kW batteries here, and they connect right here on the end of the unit with this massive cable right here. And it plugs into both the battery and here, and it has a slotted driver deal where you can go ahead and lock that cable on so nobody can knock that loose. Battery also has a little indicator here and a power button for the battery. And right on this side, you can open it, slide this little door in, if we can get that where you can see it a little bit, and you can connect your next battery should you want to continue building your stack up. Once you reach a certain height, they're going to include some brackets to make sure this doesn't become a little bit unwieldy. But super heavy duty unit. I mean, this is the most solid power station I've ever seen. The fans are super quiet. Even when I actually ran my DeWalt 13-inch planer, I have the bigger version, the benchtop 13-inch planer, ran that on this today at the same time as the window air conditioner in here, which is a I'm not sure what its output is, but it is sufficient for this shop, as well as has heat and everything else in it. So it's a decent sized little unit, and it's running on 20 amp 220. So everything ran effortlessly. It's right now, it's still charging all the batteries on the workbench, all that good stuff. We're running a lot of the lighting and everything you see here on it. Over the next few days, I will be connecting this in to the entire shop, and I'm going to make more videos to show you guys kind of how I do all this, my solar stuff outside, lots of shorts, all kinds of cool stuff coming involving this. Now here on the side, you have a high power photovoltaic port, PV port. And here on the front, you have a low power PV port. And it actually comes with a low power connection cable here. This type of tip into the low power port, and then your standard solar panel cables here. That low power does 30 to 150 volt DC with 15 amps max. I started with that with 2 panels a couple days ago because that's all the panels I had come in so far, and worked really nice. But with multiple panels now, I went ahead and switched to the high voltage here on the side, and the high voltage will run 80 to 450 volts. And I believe my panels are right at 41 volts open circuit. So with 8 of them, 4 times 8 is 320, plus a little bit of extra to be safe, we're still well within range to run 8 360 watt, 41 amp panels, 41 volt panels. I'll get this. 41 volt panels on there, and it runs good. It's got a PV switch right here, so you can actually turn it on and off when you want to put it into maintenance or disconnect these. Just shut it off and do that. Here on the side too, you've got your main power in and out port, and this is for their cables that will connect this for like an electric vehicle charger or your smart home panel that can power your whole home and has all the different details that you need available in the app and everything. Now that's another thing. I'll show you guys some screenshots of me using the app, a little bit of a recording of it. Shows you power coming in, power going out, what you have it connected to. Are you charging a vehicle? You run in your home? You have all the information on this unit anywhere, because I have fiber internet here in the shop. So this is connected to that internet, and I can monitor my solar array input as well as everything my shop is pulling power-wise from this from anywhere. I can make sure everything's charging appropriately. It's awesome. So yeah, here's the unused AC cable, and hopefully it just remains unused, because I would love this to just be solar only for me. I've kind of wanted to do this for a long time, and we finally have an opportunity to do it. I'm buying everything out there. EcoFlow did hook me up with this unit, and it was just the push I needed to go ahead and go, you know what? Let's see if we can't make this shop work like this. So let's dig into what we have here on the front. On this far side is the port I'm going to use the most. Now these little deals flip up and lock up like that, so you can plug in and not worry about it getting knocked around. I think, yep, all of these do, just like that. So we'll just open all these up right here for you. This end here would be your standard generator, 30 amp generator cord like that. So it's a locking generator cord. You can just put this directly in. I've got it on wheels here, so we're going to have to hold it. Put it in, twist and lock, and now that cable is locked into that, and we have a 30 amp 220 output right here. So the nice thing about that is I am going to go ahead and connect mine in a little more basic way with a wall 30 amp generator interlock for the shop, so that I can just go ahead and plug this directly into the wall and it be my generator interlock in the panel, flip that breaker, and everything will go to this completely. And then I can monitor it, see how things go through the day. I'm very curious how everything in here will work, because I'm sweating right now, and I've only had that air conditioner off for this video. So we do have a mini split that's coming up. We're going to put a mini split in this shop and see if we can't help a little bit with how much ridiculous amounts of power that this window unit uses. I'm telling you, this shop, when I turn everything on in here and I'm using it effectively every month, I bet it raises my home electric bill here by $200+ a month. And most of it is that air conditioner, whether it's running heat in the winter or AC in the summer. It's pretty warm here. So the next plug over is marked recreational vehicles, and it is a 30 amp. Looks like a normal dryer plug type, but it does say that it is 125 volt. So this is not a 240, this is a 125. So I want to test that and see if it's 125 each leg or what we have going on there. I have not plugged anything into that to go testing and seeing yet. I just went directly with the locking plugs. I don't want to worry about something coming loose on this. So over here, we have 120 volt, 20 amp outlets here and here. This one is your online UPS. This is your backup UPS. And yes, this system is a UPS. So what is a UPS? Well, let me see. I am hot. Anyway, what is a UPS? It is an uninterrupted power supply, basically. So with this unit, if you're plugging in things like computers and everything else, this is a pure sine wave inverter too, just so you know. You have good, clean power for all that sensitive electronics and things like that. But the important thing with the UPS is if you're running this as a whole home backup system and your home is still on the grid, as most people's are, if you're running your power through this system, this actually has a 0 millisecond UPS. So the second your power goes out, nothing should even flicker. And this will take over just like that. Your computers will stay on, everything will stay on. There's none of that where you have an outside generator that has to wait so many seconds of power out before it will get activated and then crank and start up and then bring everything back online in a little bit there. This is just right now done. So obviously if you were going to plan for multiple days out, you need to get you several batteries and just you have to look at your utility bill if you want to and see how many kilowatt hours you use of energy per day and then try to plan for how long you think your outage could be. It seems to me like with my research, a lot of people think you need around 3 days of straight battery power before you would, have to have solar or something like that to kick in. If you have 3 days of power, the odds are you'll get through whatever rainy thing is going on or whatever's blocking your panels, bring this back online, get charged back up, and keep going. So I would like to add multiple batteries to really build this out and continue with it. Now here on the front too, we do have a DC output port, 12.6 volts DC at 30 amps max. So nice little DC output there. And this is where our AC input, our ground screw, and where we can choose if we want to charge fast or slow with AC. Fast charging AC with this is extremely fast. So I haven't even plugged this in to see, but just reading the documentation on it, I believe it hits something like 7 kW pulling in, 7,000 watts or something. This thing will charge really fast. The same if you get their generator cable to plug into the main power supply on the side, you can charge this with a generator and pick it up extremely fast there too. So on this side, we have a 4G connection if you want to add a 4G module. I believe those are around $95 or so on their website if you needed to connect it through 4G and not internet. You can connect it to the cell service and be able to monitor your system that way. So this side, just open. The back, just open like that. It has tremendous amount of room for fans, which allows this to run so quietly. Or, my smaller power stations and stuff, if you throw a load on them, you can hear those fans just drive in hard. This thing, I put some loads to it with planers, charging every single battery charger loaded up. And my Ego charger, that thing pushes like 1,000. It pulled like 1,000 watts just on that one charger. We got this thing up 5,000-6,000 watts of output today. I never even heard fans at all. And we shut everything off immediately when we were done. I still couldn't hear them. So extremely quiet. I think this will be very nice, especially since we're recording in here. We run everything off of this. I don't think it'll be a problem like running a large standard inverter that has fans that really tend to kick on quite a bit, especially with all the lighting that I use in here for recording. Bunches of shop lighting, of course, and hopefully a quieter AC so I can run it while we're videoing. But this is the EcoFlow system. Really happy to answer any questions you guys have down in the comments if you have any. Here on the top too, before I forget, if you need them, there are 2 USB-A ports right here and 2 USB-C ports right there as well. So you have a lot of options here. It shows you right here on the screen. Man, I tell you what, I will have to show you guys some pictures. So follow me for some shorts and stuff on this. But you have input wattage, output wattage, and it will also tell you the amount of time you have left at your current discharge or charge up rate. It will go between, depending on whether you're taking in more or putting out more, it will tell you how long it will take to discharge or how long it's going to take to bring it back to 100%. This also lets you know you only have one battery connected. Everything is smart with this, so it will tell you all of that. Lets me know I'm 95% battery right now and at 60 hertz power. So just a nice little system right there for the shop. Does come with the little solar tool right there for disconnecting everything, connecting it up. This is going to be a fun journey, I think. I'm getting addicted extremely fast to building out this system. What's more fun than watching, I don't want to say free power coming in after what I've spent on panels and wire and array and everything else and all the Unistrut. Who knew how expensive buying a ton of it was? I usually just have to buy a stick to, build a temporary panel holder or something like that. Building an entire solar array from Unistrut gets a little pricey. But thank you guys for being here and checking this out. Let me know if I missed anything that you're curious about with this unit. And check out the EcoFlow website down in my description below and just see what all they have. I've been running one of their other small Delta 2s for a long time, and I love that thing. It's actually in the house right now, running everything on my coffee bar. My computer chargers, my nighttime phone chargers, all of that is running through an EcoFlow Delta 2. So them reaching out and wanting to do this video, really cool deal for me. I'm looking forward to working with them, hopefully more in the future. Thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you on the next one.